Alright guys, Hurricane Irma vlog number 3. It's about 14 hours to impact. They're narrowing it down. Looks like everybody says going down the west coast of Florida. Either way, we're right in the middle. We're going to get hit either way. And I just know west coast hit, that thing's going to turn the minute it starts hitting land. Probably come right at us. So we've done a little more prep, and I'll show you what we've done. To my office because the window was broken. I know from experience during Hurricane Charlie that this sliding glass door right here was a very vulnerable spot on my house. So we have prepared a couple of boards for that opening. Hurricane vlog. I'm getting hungry. I've been working all day. You know, we've been getting a few things ready. First thing we're going to need to start a shrimp gumbo is bacon. That's about 3 slices chopped bacon. Go ahead and get that in our Dutch oven and get that going. I'll give it just a tiny bit of oil. Okay, over here on this burner, I'm going to go ahead and get this one on. We're going to start some rice over here. Maybe. There we go. And a little 8-inch Camp Made I've found is perfect for rice. Perfect. Perfect size. It's got a nice. Alright, well, this bacon is nice and crispy now, so we're just going to go ahead and flip it out of the all over the place is what we just did. Don't worry. My little dog will be out here to clean that up. We're going to go ahead and take that out of the Dutch oven, and we're going to start our roux. First thing we're going to do though is turn the fire off because that's still pretty hot, and we don't want to burn our flour the minute we put it in there. We want just enough flour to oil that it'll still flow. Now remember, the pot's off, so we're using the remaining heat that's in here in the pot and see how far we can get this. And we want it to almost turn red, so we will have to cut that fire back on, but we want it to go pretty gentle. Alright, this rice water is coming up to a boil. So we're going to go ahead and put in 1 cup of rice. That was 2 cups of water, 1 teaspoon kosher salt. This is 1 cup parboiled rice. Alright. Now what we're going to do with that, turn that fire way down, put that nice heavy lid right on top of it. Turn this fire down till it's just barely flame. And set our timer for 20 minutes. It'll come out perfect. What I was trying to show y'all earlier is good to make these boards here. This is cut out for the dog door, for sliding glass doors. So if you have sliding glass doors, if you're not going to board up any other opening in your house, board up your sliding glass doors. Hurricane Charlie, I was sitting in a chair right behind the seam of that door, pushing with all my might just to try to keep that door from blowing in. I don't want to do that again. Definitely not. You got to be patient with this. On a lower temperature. Keep it moving, or it'll just go straight to burn. Alright, it's in that moment for me where I'm calling it almost rust. And it's going to cook just a little bit more. Let me put these onions in. But that's very well done there. And I don't know any other device that's better for making a roux than a cast iron pot. It's just so much more even with the heat. Alright, so we're going in with the onions. I'm going to break those up, and that's going to immediately, some of that water is going to come off of those, and they're going to kind of soak up that roux. But what they're also going to do is they're going to cool the pan off a little bit and stop the roux from cooking anymore. So we're going to get our shrimp broth that we made from the shells of the shrimp we caught up in the St. Johns River here last weekend. I'm going to go ahead and get that shrimp broth and be ready to deglaze this pan very shortly. Alright, so before any of you Cajuns tell me I'm doing it all wrong, you know, this is my way of making my version of it, alright? I know there's more traditional ways of doing this. Alright, in goes our shrimp broth, and if you want to see that recipe, I'll leave you a link down when we did our last video on catch, clean, and cook wild Florida shrimp. And you see how that I just put about, you know, a quarter of it in there, and it immediately makes kind of a gravy. And then that's what we want. That's the basis for our gumbo right there. So we'll go ahead and put the rest in. We'll let that come back up to heat, and we'll get everything else ready to go in. Alright, that's coming up to a simmer now, so let's go in with our mirepoix. That's carrot. We already got the onions in there. Celery, a little bit of the leaves. Here's some more onion. This is green onion right out of our garden. We wanted to use those before the storm tears them up. And then some garlic. It's about 3 cloves. And 1 small dice bell pepper. Don't tell Mrs. Backwoods I put that in there. She hates them. So we're going to just stir that on all together. Let it come back up to a simmer. Alright, so we just turn the fire way down, put the lid on that. We want to simmer about 15 minutes or so, at least. Okay, a while back I had put in some of our dehydrated tomatoes. They're like sun-dried tomatoes. Just need to use those up. I just put in a little seasoning, and now that's one of our cans of nice Roma tomatoes, and we're going to use, this is a Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. I'll give it a little shake of that, and we'll keep adjusting that over time. Don't want to get it too spicy. If I do, Mrs. Backwoods won't eat it. Lid back on. Let her simmer. Okay, we simmered 15 minutes. Gonna give it a little stir. Sticking it up pretty good. So we may have to put a little bit more water in here. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put about 2 cups of fresh okra right off them plants right there. So that's gonna thicken it up real quick. And you can see that already has. We're gonna let that set a minute. We're gonna get some chicken broth, homemade. We're gonna thin it up a little bit. I go right in here with some of our homemade chicken broth. Give that a little more moisture. It's about 2 pints. Let that come right back up to a boil. We'll be almost done here. Alright folks, it's been about 10 minutes since we put the okra in. So now here goes that's about 4 pounds. Fresh caught Florida wild shrimp. Peeled and deveined. And then we use the shells to make the shrimp broth. At this point, all we're gonna do is just give that a couple minutes. That was pretty cold, so I'm gonna let it come back up just a minute so I start to see the bubble or two. Turn the fire up, and we're gonna put the lid on and turn it off. Start to see 1 or 2 bubbles coming up. So lid on, nice and tight. Turn the fire off, let it sit. Alright folks, well the weather's holding up okay right now. This is Hurricane Irma meal here. This is our rice we just did in the 8-inch camp-made Dutch oven, and that thing really works great for rice. So we're going to go ahead and just fluff that just a little bit, put it right in the bottom of our bowl. Over here is our shrimp gumbo. It's beautiful. Plenty of shrimp. And you got to make sure you get plenty of that gravy in there. Soak down through all that rice. Make it absolutely delicious. For garnish, pretty simple. We're in a hurricane. Little Italian flat leaf parsley. Last final touch, sprinkle of Tony Chachere's. You hear that wind blowing in the background. A little sprinkle of Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning over top, and that's a beautiful meal, especially since we made it during the onslaught of the hurricane. Alright guys, well, you know, even though there's a hurricane coming, we still gotta eat. And you know, we're not eating bread and water, that's damn sure. So we're gonna go chomp down on some nice shrimp gumbo. And weather's already starting to turn a little bit crappy. It's definitely getting a little bit more gusty. So we'll see you guys back I don't know how much later, maybe early AM. And we'll see how it's going in, and we'll put up another vlog. So thanks for watching Backwoods Gourmet. As always, please subscribe, share, comment. Hey, if you like what we're doing, hit that like button. We'll see you next time, hopefully.